Today we are gathered to celebrate the graduation of the Senior Leader course, Class 24-001. For the past 3 weeks, these NCOs have put into practice leadership skills such as counseling, mentoring, Army writing, critical thinking, along with problem solving to give them the critical foundational education for effective leadership as an enlisted senior leader in the Army and in the National Guard recruiting and retention battalions. The guest speaker for today's ceremony is Sergeant Major Alan Myers. Sergeant Major Alan Myers joined the Arkansas Army National Guard on October 10, 2002 as a fire control specialist. Sergeant Major Myers has held a variety of positions: the Senior Enlisted Advisor for Marketing Branch at National Guard Bureau, Strength Readiness Support Center NCOIC, and as First Sergeant of the 79 Tango NCO Academy at the Professional Education Center. Sergeant Major Myers was mobilized in 2006 to support Operation Enduring Freedom in Kosovo. Sergeant Major Myers served from 2007 to 2011 with the Arkansas Recruiting and Retention Battalion in positions with increasing responsibility. Starting as a Recruiting and Retention NCO for 3 years, getting recognized as Recruiter of the Year twice for Arkansas. Subsequently, he served as the Jacksonville Recruiting Station NCOIC. Sergeant Major Myers has accepted a broadening assignment in 2011 within the Title X AGR program, where he served as an instructor and small group leader at the Strength Maintenance Training Battalion. His follow-on assignment resulted in the creation of the NGB Recruiting Standards Branch. In 2015, Sergeant Major Myers was selected as the first ARNG soldier to work with the Office of the Sergeant Major of the Army from 2016 to 2017. He is currently a student of the Sergeant Major's course, non-resident. Sergeant Major Myers holds a Master of Business Administration degree from Louisiana State University. He has one son, Max, and a daughter, Harper. Ladies and gentlemen, Sergeant Major Alan Myers.
Good morning, SLC. I know y'all's excited. You're ready to get out of here. First, I want to thank PEC leadership, SMTB leadership, 79 Tango NCOA leadership for letting me be here today to speak to y'all. First of all, I want to say thank you. I don't know if you realize it or not, but recruiting was tough this last fiscal year for all military services. There was only one military service that made mission last year. Anyone know which one it was? Marines. Marines were the only one. Everyone else did not make mission, okay? So that goes to show recruiting was tough last year, okay? On top of that, just speaking on the Army, I work in a position, I represent all 3 compos of the Army, so I'm very familiar with the numbers. With that being said, Army National Guard was within less than 1,000 of making their recruiting mission, which was a lot better than USHREC. USHREC was a lot more off than 1,000, trust me. So with that being said, we know that you're out there, you're working hard, you're hitting the streets, you're doing the things you're supposed to do. Now, you're getting to a point in your career where most of y'all have been recruiting at least 2 to 3 years, correct? So now you came here, you spent the last few weeks getting some more words of wisdom, how to become a better leader, maybe some new tools to put in your toolbox to go out and be productive. But you're hitting a point to where recruiting might not be as exciting as it was when you first came into it. Now you're feeling some of the stressors, some of the weight of leadership, of the job, and everything. You're going, you know what? How do I overcome this? How do I get in the right mindset to continue to move forward? And I want to pass on a few words of wisdom, hopefully. First thing is, don't forget, there's a lot of things you can't control. Can you change things that you can't control? No. Can you influence things you can't control, though? Yes. So it's about perspective, right? How are you looking at the situation? How are you looking at that challenge? Are you taking that challenge and you're getting wrapped around things that you can't control? Or are you thinking about it and figuring out how I can influence and change and make things better? Because I tell you right now, up at National Guard Bureau, up at the Pentagon where I work, we're working on policies and changes from suggestions from the people on the field, on the streets, working hard. The age change, that was a recommendation. That came from National Guard Bureau. The MARP, the medical standard changes that happened this past year from DOD that impacted all you guys. The DAT possession waiver change, confirmation tests going away at MEPS, all these changes happened because people were making suggestions and influencing change. They knew they couldn't make the change themselves, but they could influence. So I challenge each and every one of you to find ways to influence change within not just yourselves, but also your organization, because you impact those around you. And, I'll tell you a couple other things. Jordan Grady. Jordan Grady probably doesn't mean much to you guys, but Jordan Grady was the very first person I ever talked to about the Army National Guard. Little old Specialist Myers back in 2004, working recruiting ADOS for the recruiter who put me in, and I'm in Gravette High School over in Northwest Arkansas, and Jordan Grady is a senior. And he comes up to me, and I talked to him. He's the first person that, I gave him the features and benefits, probably talked a little too much, did a little dump trucking because I haven't been trained properly yet. And either way, something sparked in him, and I made a difference. I built his packet. I drove him down to MEPS. He got in. Another recruiter got credit. Story of my life. And what ends up happening is Jordan Grady goes into my unit. I'm still a specialist, and I get deployed to Kosovo. So I spent all 2006 in Kosovo on deployment. And at the end of that deployment, Jordan Grady came up to me, and he said, Specialist Myers, I just want to say thank you, because I don't know where I'd be today if it wasn't for you. And when I went into recruiting full-time, when I got back from my deployment, I never forgot Jordan Grady. And when things sucked, they took away Cat 3 Bravos, and all we could put in were Cat 3 Alphas and all the other changes that's going to happen in recruiting, because recruiting is everly evolving. I always thought about Jordan Grady, and that was my center point. So you got to have a center point, and don't forget that, because without that center point and getting back to that, you're probably going to lose sight of what it is you're doing and why you're doing what you're doing. I tell you right now, I love the Army. I love the Army National Guard. I love being a 79 Tango. You know why I love being a 79 Tango so much? Who owns the MOS 79 Tango? Army National Guard. It is the only MOS that the Army National Guard owns, and you're representing that. You're out there in there representing that each and every day. Your adaptability, flexibility, and ability to make change is impacting the Army National Guard and the Army as a whole. Don't forget that, and don't forget why you're doing that. And, I'll leave you with a little funny story, because I'm full of random knowledge. For those who know me, they know I'm full of random knowledge. So with that being said, we think about challenging times and how things get hard with recruiting, right? Anybody can tell me when the toothbrush was invented? 1400s, all right? So I'm going to take you back to the 1400s. So do you think hygiene's important as a recruiter? Yeah, heck yeah, man. So you're thankful that you can brush your teeth every day and all that, right? So the toothbrush was invented in the 1400s in China. So how do you think the 1300s China recruiters felt about recruiting for the Chinese military, knowing that they didn't have a toothbrush, but the 1400 China recruiters had a toothbrush, right? And then, but you want to know what that toothbrush hair was made out of? Pig hair. So it wasn't that much better, right? So it's all in perception and how you look at it. So I thought I'd throw a little humor in there. Once again, I just want to say congratulations. I know y'all's ready to get out of here, hit the road. A lot of y'all already know. We're friends either on social media or LinkedIn or whatever. If you ever need some mentorship, you ever need anything from my level, feel free to reach out anytime. We're always here to help because it's one team, one fight. Cool? All right, congratulations and good luck.
Sergeant Major Myers, thank you for your time and sharing your wisdom with us.